You know, indigenous cultures, not only is it the true classic, but it's also, to me, it besides the fact that it's a part of my culture, other indigenous, you know, jewelry, clothing, it all speaks to me. I mean, we're talking about like color, texture, it's everything that's good. I was born here in Los Angeles, California. My father and that side is all from LA. My father is the real nomad, and he's avid music collector. He collected a lot of, you know, rare grooves and Brazilian music and things like that when I was younger. My mother is from New Mexico. She was a Spanish radio DJ and a musician. She plays the flute, and she plays all the winds, but the flute is her thing. When I was about 3 or 4 years old, I moved to New Mexico with my mom. Up until that point, I was on Venice Beach. And then when I was 13, some crazy stuff happened, and my dad picked me up and moved me to Atlanta, Georgia. And I went to high school and college there. And then I lived in Spain for about 6 months, and then I moved back to LA. Music, yeah. I mean, it's the essential companion to life. I can't remember any time in my life that it hasn't been a part of, you know, I think of certain songs and it takes me back to certain times in my life. Yeah, I got my turntables and I started spinning, and by the time I got out of school, instead of becoming a gallery artist, which is what I thought I was going to be doing, I was playing people's parties, and eventually I realized it could become a career. Of course, I love Prince. He's a part of the soundtrack to my life, even before I met him, so, you know, I listened to a lot of his stuff. I've been pretty much overseas on tour with Khalees, who is another favorite artist of mine that has become a friend I've been lucky enough to be able to work with. All we did the whole year was travel, so, you know, it was everything from just, you know, getting to see and be exposed to all these wonderful things. And of course, like we talked about before, I love to collect indigenous, you know, clothes, jewelry, headpieces, whatever, from wherever I go. Well, it shows you, A, how similar we are, because like I said, collecting jewelry from all over, you know, I have stuff that, Maasai jewelry, that when I go to New Mexico, people think it's native. These scarves that I have, I'm obsessed with. The natives wear them in New Mexico during ceremonies and whatnot. And funny enough, I ran into a woman who had a bag, and I'd never seen this pattern anywhere else, and it was the same pattern as my scarf. And I was like, where did you get that? She got it in Morocco, and said it's very popular, that they wear it a lot in Morocco. And so it just goes to show you, like, how everything crosses each other and intersects. You know, in Georgia, the popular kids, it was very like preppy, and so I used to wear like polyester leisure suits. You know, I would go to thrift stores and get like actual tennis outfits and wear them to school. The girls would like go in on me. They'd be like, you're insane, like you're insane, and you're wearing like old people's clothes, you're tripping, you know. And then literally like a year or so later, you know, the tennis thing came in, and then all of a sudden all these same girls who used to bust on me were like wearing this stuff. And so it goes to show you, like, those who are the freaks end up, you know,
they're the leaders.
I got these in Abu Dhabi and this in Thailand. And the earrings, these are from Abu Dhabi as well, with the, you know, the eye, mashallah. This I made when I was 17. It's an indigenous woman, and I made all sorts of stuff like this. This is my mom's hat. She gave this to me. She used to wear it in her marching band, and I think she was either in high school or college. She's always been in a band, but it was either high school or college. I love a good uniform. You know, if I could... The idea of a uniform that I love is literally you don't have to think about what it is you're about to put on, and, you know, something classic. I love a suit uniform too. I'm very into the whole dandy thing, you know. Josephine Baker, Frida Kahlo did it as well, but it's the freedom, you know, as a woman, it's the freedom to be able to be comfortable, but you still look dressed up. You know, one thing that I think that I've really discovered that I love about hats is it's kind of like a halo. Like, it's, you know, it's a frame for the face certainly, but, you know, like a nice big hat, it becomes a halo, and I have a thing for halos. Yeah, I haven't done it in a while, but a process that I randomly came up with, I was fucking with plexiglass, and so I put the images onto the plexiglass with this substance, and then I would just scrape it off until it kind of left like a, you know, a not opaque, what is the word, translucent kind of look. Oh, it's all about the eyes. It's just eyes. I think eyes are absolutely the window to the soul, and that's always one of the things I even love about portraiture and just people, really. I love looking at people, and it's about their eyes, what's in their eyes, you know? Something that's always struck me ever since I was, since I first started traveling, was seeing black people in different places. You know, black people, we're very, here in America, it's kind of, you get put in a box, and traveling and seeing just black folks in different parts of the world is like, and how we've adapted in different, because, you know, it's a lot of transient, so you see how people have adapted to different parts of the world. I'm aware of my power, but it's not something that I maybe wield very well. There's times when I probably should use it and I don't, or I don't know, but that's something I've always admired in other people who are just, even if they're not supremely confident, they give off the appearance of that. On one hand, you know, what I do is, in a way, performance art, if you will. For me, expressing myself visually has always been easier. For that, I've never made any apologies or felt any sort of like I had to hold back in any kind of way. But definitely, you know, when you're on stage, whether it's like performing or DJing, I can become very self-critical. And the funny thing is, you know, you never see yourself the way other people see you. And this is something that I'm like hyper aware of, and I really try to have this in my everyday life, is just to be grateful, because, you know, as an artist, when you began doing what it is that you love for a living, when there's a price put on it and it's not just for fun all the time anymore, it definitely, you know, there's some times when it becomes work. And there's been times when I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know, I start to tell myself, like, I don't want to be doing this, blah, blah, blah. And then I have to stop, and I have to, you know, make sure that the universe and the world, that, you know, that it's aware that I am, like, supremely grateful to just be getting to play records for a living.